Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, great for recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day, folks. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means, share it with somebody who might get something out of it. Other than that, first of all, I got to go to my first home group at the new church. It is the oh God, here we go again. I keep forgetting the name of this thing. It's a Lutheran church in Harvard Square behind Pinocchio's for anybody in the area. Much, such a nice space, beautiful space, heating, air conditioning, where the meetings are now open from 11:30 in the morning to 1:30 in the afternoon instead of being rushed in and out. And unfortunately, I did have to get back to work, so I wasn't able to stick around today. But I also found out for sure that I will be officially chairing the meeting starting October 1st. We're letting the current chair fill her 3-month period, which is, of course, I don't want to take anything from anybody else. So I'm happy to see my friend continue to chair through the end. But I'm excited for the opportunity to serve. I love that. I love the new space that we have, and I love it's such a good atmosphere. And I love the fact that the meeting's growing so quickly that we're running out of books, and I had to keep putting out more chairs, and it's great. It's good to know that other people feel the same way that I do about this meeting. It's an absolutely fantastic meeting, and it's done so much for my recovery. Anybody watching, love you all. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Other than that, guys, we're going to get into the reading. Today, the reading is loosely based off of the Just for Today and a meditation, but I've been changing them a lot more to apply and just adding some personal wisdom into them. Anyway, it's titled Sick, Not Hopelessly Bad. We find that we suffer from a disease, not a moral dilemma. We were critically ill, not hopelessly bad. For many of us, recovery was the answer to a personal puzzle of long standing. Why did we always feel so alone, even in a crowd? We wondered. Why did we do so many crazy, self-destructive things? Why did we feel so badly about ourselves so much of the time? And how had our lives gotten so messed up? We thought that we were hopelessly bad, or perhaps hopelessly insane. Given that, it was great relief to learn that we suffer from a disease addiction, that it was the source of our problems, a disease we realized could be treated, and when we treat our disease, we begin to recover. Today, when we see symptoms of our disease resurfacing in our lives, we need not despair. After all, it is a treatable disease we have, not a moral dilemma. We can be grateful we can recover from the disease of addiction by working a recovery program, and for every symptom there is an effective solution. Then the affirmation is just for today. I am grateful that I have a treatable disease, not a moral dilemma. I will continue to apply spiritual principles to combat my symptoms. And guys, I can't believe that, and I'm grateful that I found these readings and I've been adding them because I think it's a great way to come up with good topics, and they apply to every one of us, whether you're in addiction, alcoholism, if you're struggling in every area of your life. Every one of us can do better. And guys, I don't like to be braggart, but I'm very proud of myself. I'm very, very proud of the fact that I put the effort in, because that is the difference. And it's so shocking to realize that. And again, the most important ability you're ever going to have is accountability, right? And that's the difference today, guys. I take accountability. It was sad to understand that so many times that I failed, I had the power to change things, but I chose not to, and that sucks. I didn't necessarily understand all that I know today, but again, it doesn't change the fact that I had the ability to, guys, look how good my life is today in 8 short months. All I would have done was shave 20 years of misery off of my life if I had figured this out 20 years ago. But again, I'm not going to dwell on those things today. I'm going to focus on being grateful for where I am today, and I am. That is one thing I am filled with, is gratitude. I love the situations, guys, and it just, every time I start to think I'm plateauing, new things will appear because I'm challenging myself to continue, right? And I'm like, wow, things are going really good today. How can they get better? And lo and behold, I get a phone call from a customer, one of my regular customers this morning, and they're asking me what other work I'm willing to do for them. Again, I'm starting to sense a theme here. I'm starting to hear this from a lot of different people. These people are doing like adding a bathroom in one of the apartment houses where there's just a pantry right now. Asked me if I can handle that. I said, yeah, of course. I've done many of them. Of course I can. Now, this is the first time I'll be doing it for myself and reaping all of the benefits from it. Then they wanted a price sheet on what I charge for water heaters and boiler replacements and many other things. Guys, I'm being offered more and more work, better paying, bigger jobs. And that's the thing. It saves them money and makes me a lot more money when I can do a lot bigger and more things, more comprehensive jobs, because I'm not having to try and charge that individual service fee, and I'm not losing time and money running from place to place doing knocking out these little $150 repairs. Not that I mind doing those, because I'm very good at what I do and I make a lot of money on those repairs because I knock a lot of them out. But if I can now bid out a job that's $7,500 and I can get it done in 3 or 4 days, and then still run around and get the service work done, because again, it's just about finding better ways to be to work with my time management, then I just make that much more money, and I'm that much closer to buying properties and living a life of luxury that I someday hope to get to. But again, I didn't think any of this could have ever happened, because I was never taking accountability for my actions. I was never understanding and fully realizing that I had disease that was treatable. But now that's the difference today, guys. Once I understood that I did truly suffer from the disease of addiction, I could look at it, mathematically, scientifically, and say, okay, well, what does that entail? What are the symptoms? What are the limitations? What are the treatments? What are the cures? And I said, okay, well, I've come to understand that it's a spiritual disease. So I said, okay, well, you know what? I've got to start getting spiritual. And I had to look at it. And again, it was a matter of honestly looking at my behaviors and my thoughts and where I was just lying to myself and fooling myself. And that's one of the things, guys. I run around for years saying, oh, I'm this atheist tough guy. Oh, I'm too smart to have faith. And that was the most ridiculous thing I've ever said in my life. Now, doesn't mean that I apply to every fanatical definition that's out there, because I do not. But you look at the totality of it with a clear conscience and a clear head, and you realize, well, yeah, of course there's an underlying force governing everything. Of course there's an intelligent creation behind everything that is here. I mean, you can't say there's not. It doesn't have to be his, hers, or his. I don't have the definition of what God is. It would be ignorant of myself to assume that I had that kind of information unless God appeared to me and explained it to me. So I understood that there's an underlying governing force that I can be faithful to, that I can appreciate and be grateful for, because without it, none of this would be here. None of us would be here. We wouldn't have anything, right? So how can I not be grateful for that? It's given me life. It's given me opportunity to live. Now, and then I understood that I could get into alignment with it, understanding that there's, a law of attraction and things of this nature. So again, now it comes down to my behaviors, my thoughts, my actions, my attitude, my willingness, my level of gratitude. These are the things that govern well, and my willing, and obviously my ability to actually put through effort, to take action. Well, great, those are all things I'm fully capable of. So that means I've got everything I need to succeed. Now, I do have to treat my disease. Now, I truly believe, and again, I can only speak for myself, but for me, the disease of addiction is a spiritual disease. And the more evidence I look for, and the more cases I study, the more evidence I see for that to be a true statement. So I believe that statement. So I'm treating my disease of addiction primarily spiritually, by developing a conscious contact relationship with my higher power, whom I choose to call God. And lo and behold, as I've done so, I've started to feel better about myself. I've started to gain clarity and wisdom and insight and introspectiveness into my actions, my thoughts, and my deficiencies. And therefore, I'm able to work on those and remove some of these defects of character that I've suffered from for so long. Didn't have to give up any of the good qualities of myself. I just found a better way to apply them, better places to focus my attention, realizing I have value, not just in the work that I produce, but just intrinsic value in being the person that I am, that I bring good energy to the table. These are all things that build your confidence, and that's one thing that was devastated from myself in addiction. I had lost all self-confidence. I didn't think that I could trust my instincts, and I couldn't at that point because they were all terribly wrong. But it didn't take anything earth-shaking to change these things. I just had to pay attention. I had to be faithful. I had to take leaps of faith. I had to take massive action when appropriate. I had to give myself time to rest and to heal and to figure out what was wrong. You can't just go all the time. You got to stop and spend a little time looking at what you're doing. Looking at the actions you're taking and where they're leading. And that's something I never did, guys. And it's so incredibly powerful. When you actually, because guys, every one of us, I say this constantly, we all have an internal guidance system, a personal GPS, if you will, that will tell you whether you're doing right or wrong. But sometimes, and particularly in addiction, we're so far into the mess that we don't have the ability to stop and honestly look at our behaviors because of the horrible situations we present ourselves, and then the momentum that just keeps carrying us through these things for years and years, or whatever your situation may be. So that's why I suggest rehab, halfway house, IOP, whatever. Arrest the momentum that's carrying you down the drain. Arrest that, whatever it takes, right? Stop the flow. Then heal. Right? It's just like, if you hurt yourself, guys. If you get a knife sticking in your skin, well, you're going to want to remove the knife. Then you're going to stop the blood flow. Then you're going to treat it with, antiseptic, antibiotic, whatever it might take. You want to close the wound. And then you want to start physical therapy, right? Well, that's basically what we're doing here in addiction and recovery, right? And, early recovery after coming through addiction. I've stopped the drugs. I've developed a relationship with my higher power. That's the most powerful thing I've ever done. It has absolutely changed everything in my life for the better. And I mean, when I say for the better, guys, my God, I love my life. Guys, 8 months ago, I was walking into rehab, tears pouring out of my eyes saying, I don't know who I am. I don't know what matters to me. I don't know what thoughts are real. I don't know what life is supposed to look like. I don't know what my hobbies are. I don't know what my interests are. And I'm still finding some of those out. But all I had to do was start telling that to God. God, I need help. Please show me the way. Please allow me to walk in your light. Show me your path for me. And lo and behold, somebody would drop a book in my lap the next day. Hey, you want to read a book? Here's a book about scientific prayer. When you start getting into alignment, the solutions will start to appear. But you've got to be paying attention. Had I been sitting in that rehab talking to the other 5 guys who are glorifying their drug use, I wouldn't have heard somebody offering to hand out books. Had I not engaged with my counselors and in the classes that I presented every day, I wouldn't have started to learn about the IOP, about the medically assisted treatment, about the opportunities to get into therapy. None of that would have happened, except I was doing the right thing for the right reason. I was trying to better myself in every situation, and not sitting here saying, I don't have this, I don't have that, give me this. No, I was saying, thank you for what I do have. I have a place to lay my head tonight. I have food to put in my body. I have clean clothes to put on. I've got people that care about me, trying to teach me and guide me and help me. And I became incredibly grateful to the point that I would get emotional almost every time I tried to talk. And you guys must hear it in the videos from time to time. You hear me get emotional, my voice starts to crack up here. I'm okay with that. I still get on here and do it, knowing full well, because guys, I have emotion, I have feelings today. I'm a human being, I'm supposed to have feelings. I made myself into a robot for decades. And what did I do? I sat there not feeling anything, trashing my life. And again, and even that, guys, even with the totality of the damage that I did to myself for as long as I did, for 40 years of just seeing no value in myself and therefore treating me accordingly. Guys, I gave myself away, mind, body, and soul. I put myself through shit that no man should survive. But God saw the good in me and kept me alive, kept me whole, kept me solid enough that I could recover in almost no time flat. I mean, it's only been 8 months. Matter of fact, tomorrow I'll have 8 months of continuous sobriety on this run. And that's amazing. And look what's happened, guys. I'm 195 pounds. I go to the gym. I'm taking Tai Chi. My body's starting to move better. I'm sleeping better. I look 10 years younger. I just made another appointment with the dermatologist to get the last of this thing taken off my face because, all right, well, I'm sick of looking at it. What else can I improve? I constantly do take action to improve my life. I do videos every day to share my story and try to help somebody else. And that invites beautiful situations into my life constantly. And that's exactly what I find. They're not all easy days, but I'm never given anything that I can't handle. And now I understand that everything has reason. So if it's not something for my highest good, there's an opportunity for me to prove to myself that I'll stand up for myself. And then I learn better ways to communicate and better ways to express my needs. And it's just all beautiful, guys. Things just continue to get better and better because I continue to apply these spiritual principles. But if I just sat back and said, oh, nope, I'm hopelessly bad, I'm hopelessly insane, there's no cure, there's no hope, there may not be a cure for the disease of addiction, but there's treatment. You can get a daily reprieve, and you can get a daily reprieve every single day. But it only comes for 24 hours, and you can't stay clean on yesterday's sobriety. You got to keep doing this thing every day. You know, just as if you have, I don't know much about diabetes, guys, but you know, if you have an insulin issue with your diabetes, you're going to check your insulin and your sugar level, and you're going to treat it, right? It's the same thing, guys, just a different application, and it's not even as bad. Like, all we got to do is just pay attention and take action and look to improve and look to do better and look to help somebody else along the way. And I promise you, if you do all these things to the best of your ability, regardless of your circumstances, your life will continue to get better every single day that you work at it. And when you do these things consistently, repetitively, well, now we start talking about compounding. You start compounding the success, the benefits, the blessings. Before you know it, guys, you're going to be living a completely different life. That's what I'm living today. I've traded in my problems for a much better set of problems. Yes, there's always going to be problems, but that's all just the human condition. But you can certainly upgrade the problems that you deal with. I don't deal with the lack of food anymore. I don't deal with being threatened to lose my house today. Being thrown out of my house. Like, the problems that I deal with today are much better. They're all first world problems today. I don't worry about being homeless or not having food or clothing or shelter. Now I might piss and moan a little bit when I got to spend money I don't want to, but it's not because I don't have it. You know, it's beautiful, guys, and it continues to stack. I'm saving money at a rate that is absolutely insane. Like, yeah, I won't even get into that anyway, because it's not about that. But that gives me opportunities to expand and do more good in this world and do more good for myself. And I got to keep focused on my end goal, which is to own rental properties. And I'll be doing this channel one of these days, and I'm going to tell you, hey guys, today I bought my first 3-family, 4-family, 5-family, 6-family home to rent out. And then you're going to hear me buy the second one and the third one. Because I'm going to keep doing what I got to do to get me there. Because that's what God wants from me. For me, not even from me. From me, He wants faith. He wants diligence. He wants me to help others. So I'll continue to do that as well. My life will continue to flourish. Guys, I'm incredibly happy to know that I was sick, not hopelessly insane, and not hopelessly a bad person. Because at one point I thought that's what I was. And I'm so incredibly grateful that I'm not, because that's not what I am today. And today I'm not sick either. I'm in remission. And I'm proud to be in remission. I have every intention of staying in remission. Guys, that's the lesson today. Thank you so much. Always remember, God loves you. I love you. Thank you so much. We will see you in the next one.